Architectural Builder Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
The pocket doors, and I was talking to a local supplier here that my builder had recommended, and he seemed to be challenged by getting some of the kinds of doors that I wanted to get. And when I looked at your website, you seem to just simply have everything. And so I guess my question is this: is it hideously expensive or odd to I don't know where you guys are located, but to transport something like doors, or can I get a quote from you? Is my job too small for you? Those kinds of questions. All I need is
I need. Yes to the first, no to the second, yes to the third.
Okay. Let's see, at first was, I think, the hideously expensive for transport. Should I just send, how would we do this? Would I
send me an email?
Just send an email with all the stuff? Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, I will do that. What's your email?
Sure, it's sales, S-A-L-E-S,
mm-hmm.
at A as in architectural,
mm-hmm.
B as in builders, supply, S-U-P-P-L-Y, .net.
.net. All right, great. I will do that. So, and you have pocket doors as well, is that correct?
What do you mean by pocket door?
The ones that are in a wall. They're in the wall and you slide out of the wall.
Yeah, that's one type of pocket door, but what specifically do you mean? What are you looking for in terms of that style of pocket door? The door slab, the pocket door frame, hardware for a pocket door?
The door slab.
Yeah, sure.
I have my.
It's the same as the swinging door.
Yeah, I have the. I can send you a copy of the plans as well, so you can actually the architect's drawings, so you can actually see the stuff in context, rather than my.
I'll want your take on it, though. It's the reason Corey did send me a message to call you. I haven't yet because of the 60 emails in front of that for me to get to.
God. Yeah, I understand. Okay, well, I'll do this. Yeah,
what was perplexing about the doors for the local door supplier?
Well, it was something that was off-putting, I think. My architect had spec'd 7-foot doors, and the supplier, the vendor said, well, nobody does 7-foot doors in residential. He must have made it's actually a she, but he must have made a mistake and meant 6'8". So they priced just 6'8" doors. And, my architect has been an architect for 50 years and my best friend for 60 years. She said, no, that's not a mistake, Wayne. So they're supposed to be 7-foot. And I just want 7-foot simple birch doors and some solid, some can be hollow. And I wanted to do two that were with the hinges that don't show, that are built into the door, more the European style, just to like that. And when I was talking to the other builder, he said, oh, no, you can't possibly afford those. And I'm not my builder. I mean, this vendor. And so, there were several things that, kind of bothered me about it. And I looked at the pricing. He also said that the 7-foot doors would be way too expensive. When I looked at your pricing and I compared it to the pricing that, the pricing on your website, and I looked at the pricing that I'd had from this vendor, I thought they were quite comparable. So I guess the big video breaker could be transport costs. Perhaps those are just really excessive. But
how many doors are there?
There are 5 regular sort of swing open doors. There's one set of closet doors, and then there are 3 pocket doors.
Yeah, so you've got 10 door slabs. It's going to cost over $1,000 to ship those out there for sure. The fact of the matter, though, is no matter who supplies them, they're going to have to ship to you an hour and a half outside of Portland. So you're carrying freight no matter what. It's just so that's the reality of it. It's just can you find somebody where that is going to be geographically closer and therefore less, but it's still going to be expensive. For sure.
Yeah, and much of the expense is in lading. It's putting it on and taking it off, and on a truck.
Overall, overall, it's just a component of the job. So,
exactly.
You've got to look at the entire thing. In terms of concealed hinges, that's as easy as getting French fries at a hot dog stand. I'm very familiar with their operation, installing them, troubleshooting them. Door slabs are super easy. It's just a matter of what veneer that you want. The sizes, you're going to want to stay away from hollow core because there's no advantage to that in terms of cost. 7 foot is great. If you like 7'2", that's great as well. Whatever you want can be done. There's very little price difference.
What was your? I'm sorry to interrupt. What was I missed your comment about hollow core versus solid.
There's no measurable advantage to hollow core over solid core in terms of price.
Okay. I obviously prefer solid core, but
yeah, no, we'll decline the opportunity to even quote hollow core. We're going to quote it solid. Yeah.
All right.
Pocket door frames we can supply. The invisible hinges we can supply. I would suggest SOS. The original hinge.
Okay. Great. Well, I will then get together. Gather up all the information. I hope it'll be complete that you need, or you can perhaps reach me if it's not. And we're not in a rush to do this. We haven't even broken ground on this place. So
the upside of that is factory lead times are running 8-10 weeks on doors. The downside of that is the pricing that I give you today is not going to apply when it's time to order trim like doors. Because of if people think cryptocurrency is volatile, just the pricing in building materials is equally crazy.
I understand that. I used to trade interest rate futures in Chicago at the Merck, and we also would trade other markets. But one market I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole would be the lumber.
Lumber's crazy. Where in Chicago did you live?
I lived right on. I had a beautiful place. I was living in Colorado and just renting a place, and some people who owned the building actually let me move from apartment to apartment in the building for almost no rent. It was on North Dearborn, right at the very south end of Lincoln Park.
Lincoln Park's pretty big, so that could be maybe 1100 North Dearborn.
Yeah, it was right where the park sort of came to an end, and so that's where I lived. So I could bicycle. Just a couple miles, I could bicycle downtown, and I was at Jackson and LaSalle, where the Merck, where the Merck building is, or not the Merck building, but the board. I actually worked in the old Board of Trade building, which is an exquisitely beautiful building. So it was fun.
Yeah, well, living in that part of Chicago, you got the Lakeshore Drive bike path that'll take you all the way up to Hollywood, and then as far south as at least to the probably University of Chicago, if not the Science and Industry.
Really, it goes that far? I didn't know that.
I've only taken it as far as maybe a mile further south in Soldier Field, but I lived at basically.
So you obviously you know the area well.
Oh, I grew up.
I actually grew up in Cicero.
Yeah.
On the west side.
Yeah, Cicero is. We have a supplier there that I was in Cicero once every 2 weeks or so picking up material from.
I was there when it was a terrible place to be. I lived on Cermak Road. Actually, my dad had a little cafe right on Cermak and Central.
Okay, yeah. So that is, I have been past that intersection dozens of times.
There was an Ace Hardware there, and we were right next door to it. And I think the Ace Hardware bought the little restaurant years ago. Yeah. So you know that area intimately.
Yeah, I would get off the Eisenhower at Central, go south to Cermak, and then head into Cicero, and then go south.
Yeah. Well, those are my old stomping grounds. Well, I tell you, I love living in downtown Chicago. I'd left Cicero because of the violence. Actually, I mean, it was, I got tired of being stabbed, and we lived with a loaded gun at the front door. There was the old days. It's quite nice now, but and I'm older. I'm 76, so and then I kind of hated the city because of the violence. But then, as an adult, when I was living in Colorado, I actually got a job. My job at the Board of Trade, and so I started working and living in Chicago again. And it was like a whole different city because I just didn't know that, how the sort of wonderful parts of the city. And
without traffic, you could be from North Avenue in Dearborn in 25 minutes, and it's amazing how you'll go through different universes from one place to the other.
Yeah. I really grew to appreciate it, and I actually I didn't take the bike path. I don't know if I even had bike paths then. I used to just bicycle on the street, but it was fun. But I would bicycle all over the place, and I was an anomaly. I put a rain gear on over my suit, and bad weather bike down to the Board of Trade, and the maintenance guy there let me keep my bike in the boiler room. It was kind of a romantic time. It was fun, and of course the action of the trading is fun.
Chicago has one problem: the fact that it gets cold. If it was, that a sublime time in early mid-October, in May, 12 months a year, it would be San Diego, but better.
Yeah, I agree with you. I love the cold though. I love ripper and cold and wind. So, which is crazy because I'm a skinny little guy and I freeze my butt off, but I always love the cold. But where are you? Are you guys in Chicago, or where are you based?
Southwest Florida.
Southwest Florida. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's quite different.
It is. I've lived through 4 of the 5 worst snowstorms in the history of Chicago, and I can tell you that none of them compare. All of them combined don't compare to a hurricane. In terms of weather, snow is a botheration. It's not. People generally don't die when you can't get to Starbucks because you can't get off your driveway.
Yes, this is true. I've never been through a hurricane. I imagine it's pretty terrifying.
The power goes out for 10 days straight, and you can't.
Yeah.
You got to.
Do you have a generator for your place then?
So we do at work. It's just much of where you live here is gated communities, and they're patently generally not permitted. The bottom line. So it can be done, but there's no natural gas. There is, but it's not like Chicago. You've got a different setup.
I'm trying to figure out what to do and build this house because we do get power outages here, and we do have nasty winds. 135. The places have to be rated for 135 mile an hour winds, and so I'm noodling on some kind of alternative power, and we're all electric. So I used to do wind power finance, so I was thinking about a little wind generator, but I don't. That would that would upset the neighbors. The noise would, so I can't do that. But I'm maybe going to design something. I'm not sure. My wife's an engineer, so I can lean on her to come up with something. So
it's a good ace up your sleeve.
Yeah. So, well, great. Well, I will, Rich, I'll send this stuff off to you. Probably won't get it out until tomorrow because I have to run out, do chores today, but I'll be back at my computer tomorrow morning, and I'll put together a little package for you. How's that sound?
Sounds like a good plan.
All right. Well, I've really enjoyed speaking with you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I look forward to your email. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks a lot. Have a good
Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.